Here are the top stories of the news. Many feared killed, others abducted in Ebonyi state. Alexa T says Abia states no longer experiencing power failure as government invests in renewable energy. On the firing scene, Donald Trump says it is dangerous for United Kingdom to do business with China. Good afternoon and welcome to Spring News at 12 on Western Spring Television. I am Temitope Ajijolaoluwaola. Many persons have been allegedly killed and abducted in Okporojo community, Osoeda, and Edda Lga government area of Ebonyi state, following an attack by yet-to-be-identified persons. The incident was said to have happened on Thursday afternoon around 4 p.m. Reports indicated that unidentified armed men ambushed the community late afternoon, setting houses on fire, while many were killed and abducted during the attack. Also, over 5 persons were said to have been allegedly beheaded and their heads taken away by their assailants. In a viral video circulating online, houses were set on fire as the community called on the state government and security agencies for help. According to reports, the violence stemmed from a decades-old dispute over a specific tract of land at the boundary of Osoeda and Edda Lga government area and the Masari and Afikpo local government area, with both communities claiming ancestral ownership. The governor of Abia State has said its state is no longer experiencing power failure caused by frequent collapse of the national grid system, as his administration is now investing in converting organic waste products into electricity. He disclosed this while addressing the media at the state's government house on Thursday. According to him, waste products are now being converted from biogas into renewable energy for Abians, adding that the state is no longer under the control of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC. Governor T also disclosed that the new arrangement had been negotiated and accepted by the utility firm and Nugu Electricity Distribution Company in charge of power in the state. This development is coming in the wake of frequent national grid collapse, causing widespread power outages in the country.
Into clean energy and provide Abia with renewable energy from biogas. So, and this is a pilot program. So we want, instead of the waste, organic waste that we are disposing, we can turn them with this technology into energy, clean energy, and we'll be able to power a whole lot more places, particularly in the Umuahia ring fence. Talking about the Umuahia ring fence, I had reported earlier that our offer to EEDC had been accepted, and we are in the process of raising the funds to pay off EEDC. On the 24th of December, the Abia State Electricity Regulation Authority took over from the National Electricity Regulation Authority. The regulation, so everything about distribution, generation, and transmission are going to be regulated within the state. And the whole idea is to ensure energy sufficiency and independence in the state. just like the Aba power provides power for the Aba ring fence. I'm sure you would have been aware that some of the disasters that happened recently, our state was not affected because a whole part of our power asset is within our authority. And that is the whole idea about acquiring the Omoahe ring fence. I'm happy that we're making a lot of progress in that area.
Governor of Edo State, Monday Okpebholo, has approved a minor change to his cabinet. A statement from the secretary to the state government, Imari Ihilo, announcing the changes disclosed that the reshuffle, which involved 3 key appointments, is aimed at strengthening governance and efficiency in the state administration. Gani Audu, former chief of staff, has been nominated as Commissioner for Oil and Gas Resources, pending confirmation by the Edo State House of Assembly. Vincent Wade was redeployed from the Ministry of Oil and Gas Resources to the Ministry of Lands and Housing as Commissioner. Also, Yakubu Musa, previously Commissioner for Lands and Housing, is now Chief of Staff to the Governor. According to the statements, the Governor said he is confident the adjustments will enhance coordination, policy implementation, and governance in the state. Former Ekiti State Governor Kayode Fayemi has denied reports claiming that he held a closed-door meeting with former Kano State Governor Rabiu Kwankwaso at his Abuja residence. Fayemi dismissed the report in a statement issued by the head of his media office, Ahmad Sajo, on Thursday, describing the claim as false and urging the public to disregard it. The report, which circulated on X on Wednesday, was shared by several social media handles alongside an old video clip showing Fayemi greeting Kwankwaso at his residence. According to the statement, the former Ekiti governor had met Kwankwaso only once in the past year and not in any private political setting. The Senate has constituted a 7-man committee to collate, harmonize, and distill lawmakers' contributions and opinions on the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2026 with a mandate to present a consolidated report to the chamber next Tuesday. The decision followed over 2 hours of consideration of the bill's provisions during a closed-door session. The committee is chaired by the chairman of the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, Senator Niyi Adegbomore. Other members are Senators Adamu Alero, Aminu Tambowal, Adams Oshomole, Danju Magoje, Tony Nwoye, and Titus Zam. The committee has been given 3 days to conclude its assignment and submit its report for consideration at the next plenary session, scheduled for next week. The Senate today commenced consideration of the Electoral Act 2022 Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2026, moving into a closed session to review documents submitted by the chairman of the Senate Committee on Electoral Matters. Although the House of Representatives has already passed the bill, Senate President Senator Godswill Akpabio underscores the need for thorough scrutiny given the bill's implications for the nation's electoral process. The House of Representatives has urged the federal government to address the scourge of hunger across the country through coordinated harmonization of the various poverty reduction schemes currently being implemented. The decision of the House follows the consideration and adoption of a motion of urgent public importance moved by Yobe lawmaker Khadija Ibrahim during a plenary session. A recent estimate showed that about 139 million Nigerians, representing 61% of the population, are living below the national poverty line, with projections suggesting this figure could reach about 141 million by 2026. Khadija said millions of Nigerians are unable to afford basic food items and essential services, thereby aggravating food insecurity and malnutrition, especially among women, children, the elderly, and internally displaced persons. She further noted that the Northeast, which is predominantly agrarian, is the worst hit, stressing that for several years, farming activities were severely hindered due to insurgency, displacement of rural populations, destruction of farmlands. Following the adoption of the motion, the House urged the President Bola Tinubu-led government to strengthen and harmonize ongoing national poverty reduction, food security, and post-conflict agricultural recovery initiatives.
Although security has improved in many parts of the Northeast, a large number of farmers remain unable to resume full agricultural activities due to lack of access to inputs, financing, extension services, irrigation facilities, storage, and rural infrastructure necessary for agricultural recovery. Further worried that failure to fully reintegrate displaced farmers into existing agricultural recovery and food security initiatives will continue to entrench poverty, hunger, and dependency in the region, with negative implications for national food sufficiency, economic stability, and peace-building efforts. Resolves to urge the federal government, in line with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 99 as amended, to strengthen and harmonize on.
Now to judicial matters, an investigator with the Department of State Services, DSS, has told the Federal High Court in Abuja that complaints made by victims against alleged terrorism negotiator Chukwur Namu corroborated the findings by the agency. The sixth prosecution witness in the ongoing terrorism trial of Mamu said several victims rescued from the 2022 Abuja-Kaduna bound train attacked lodged complaints with the DSS. The witness, a DSS operative, made the disclosure while being cross-examined by defense counsel Johnson Usman before Justice Muhammad Umar. Usman had asked the witness, who testified behind a protective screen for security reasons, to confirm whether any of the rescued victims, including the wife of the commandant of the Nigerian Defense Academy, Jaji, made complaints against the defendant. Justice Umar subsequently adjourned the matter to April 23 for the defendant to open his defense. A former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, has been granted permission by the federal government, Federal High Court, sitting in Abuja, to travel to Saudi Arabia to perform the 2026 Lesser Hajj. In granting the application, Justice Emeka Nwite ordered that Bello's international passport, which has been in the custody of the court, be temporarily released to him. The former governor is currently standing trial before the court over alleged misappropriation of funds in a case instituted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The application for permission to travel was personally deposed to by Bello and moved by his lead counsel, Joseph Daudu, SAN. Daudu informed the court that the former governor had not traveled to the Holy Land in over 8 years and that there was a need for him to do so to pray for divine intervention regarding the charges brought against him by the EFCC. In a brief ruling, Justice Nwite granted the application and approved the release of bailor's passport from March 13 for a period of 10 days. The court subsequently adjourned the matter until tomorrow for the continuation of the examination of the 7th prosecution witness. In other news, cocoa farmers under the umbrella of the Cocoa Farmers Association of Nigeria and the Cocoa Farmers Alliance Association of Africa have urged President Bola Tinubu to clarify the status of the proposed Nigerian Cocoa Board Establishment Bill. The farmers made the call in an open letter by the national president of Cocoa Farmers Association of Nigeria, Edda Lga, expressing concern over the lack of information following the bill's transmission to the National Assembly in November 2025 and its subsequent withdrawal for amendments. According to the associations, the bill was first read at the House of Representatives plenary on November 13, 2025, by the Speaker, Abbas Tajuddin, before the presidency reportedly requested its withdrawal the following day to allow for corrections. Since then, they said there has been no official update on the bill's progress. They also records that a similar version of the bill was transmitted to the Senate on November 10, 2025, and later stepped down for further consideration, a development announced by Senate President Godswill Akpabio at plenary on November 18, 2025. While acknowledging the need for consultation on such important legislation, the farmers said the prolonged silence has created uncertainty across the cocoa value chain, leaving stakeholders unsure whether the bill has been revised, withdrawn, or abandoned. The associations further expressed concern over public statements suggesting that the Cocoa Board has been reinstated, noting that no law has been passed to establish the board and that it is not operational. You're watching Spring News at 12 on Western Spring Television. We'll be right back after this break. Please stay with us.